Hi, I'm Dusty, the co-founder of CashOrTrade.org, the world's only social ticketing platform where fans have come together to buy, sell, and trade tickets at face value, free from the scalping brokers of the resale market and the leaders of the face value movement. I want to thank you all for joining us and working together to disrupt the ticketing industry. So I'd love to tell you a little bit about Cash or Trade. It's a fair ticketing platform where fans have come to make a post, whether they're looking to buy, sell, or trade a ticket. The second they list, it will send an alert to anyone who is looking. They can click on the alert, hop into a conversation, and commit to buy. Once they commit, the money will be held in escrow by Cash or Trade. We'll securely transfer the funds, and we will validate the ticket. You can transfer, then leave a review. It's a lot like Airbnb for tickets. So embrace the face and see you at Cash or Trade.
As live music fans and musicians, we're all at risk for permanent hearing damage. The standard options for ear protection are foam earplugs, which block everything out so you can't hear anything at all. And then there are custom musician earplugs, which are really expensive. Vibes high-fidelity earplugs, as seen on Shark Tank, are affordable, reusable earplugs designed for live music fans and musicians. Instead of blocking out all sound, Vibes reduce the volume of loud live music to a safer and more comfortable level that prevents permanent hearing damage and ear pain, while still allowing you to hear the music clearly, whether you're a live music fan or a musician. Vibes' clear, low-profile design make them virtually invisible in your ears so you can be discreet about wearing hearing protection in public. Each pair also includes a carrying case and 3 sizes of interchangeable ear tips to ensure a comfortable fit for any sized ear. Vibes are used by hundreds of thousands of live music fans and musicians around the world, and they're trusted by the country's top professional orchestras and college music programs who outfit their musicians with them. Go to vibesearplugs.com/NSR to learn more and to get yourself a pair of Vibes high-fidelity earplugs for less than $30. That's vibesearplugs.com/NSR. vibesearplugs.com/NSR. Vibes high-fidelity earplugs are great for all live music fans and musicians, and they make a great holiday gift. So check them out. Protect your ears with Vibes.
No Simple Road. Yeah, here we go.
I know the road may seem to go on forever and a lifetime.
What universe do you live in, Apple?
An alternate one.
Really?
Yeah.
What's it called? You got to name it.
Wow, man, that's tough.
Mel, what's the name of your universe?
Cutie Patootie Land.
Yeah, that definitely would be.
Cutie Patootie Land.
I live.
Every time you see something, it's fucking adorable.
Okay. I live in Always Workingville. Yeah, that's my universe.
In the apple orchard.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
Hey now, No Simple Road family. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of No Simple Road. This is Aaron.
And this is Mel.
And this is Apple.
And we have a bunch of things to get to today, but our guest is the one and only Adam
Greuel.
The man from Horseshoes and Hand Grenades.
Space Burritos, the High Hawks, Berens and Greuel, Rucksack Revolution.
Yeah, I couldn't get all that.
And there's so much more stuff that he's collaborating with that we don't know about.
Yeah, and you don't know about it either, but you will soon after you hear this conversation with Adam.
That's right.
You know, this is one of those talks on No Simple Road when right from connecting in the Zoom, we were having a good time.
Okay, you want to know what made me really happy?
What?
Mid conversation, he walks over to his fridge and grabs a drink.
Yeah,
that happened twice. It happened with Steve Kelly, and it happened with Adam. And
that's a certain level of comfortability.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about,
yeah.
Apple. It makes me so happy that they don't feel stiff, like they have to sit in the same chair and be in the same. Like, no, dude, you got to go to get your drink. You got to, pause for a minute, go pee.
I can't remember the dog. Somebody has a little dog running around and stuff and was very comfortable.
Yeah. So everybody, you're going to dig this. You're going to have as much fun as we did. But we got, like I said, we got a couple things that we got to do first. First of all, we recently celebrated our 400th interview episode. And our brother John Bonanno, Johnny B, wrote a letter to us regarding this. And I'm going to attempt to read this.
Do you want me to read it?
No, I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
If I fuck it up, then we'll go back.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. No simple motherfucking road. At the end of episode 400, Aaron and the crew asked if anyone had listened to every episode, and the first one to email wins a prize. Oh shit, I did do that, John. You win.
Oh, you win, Johnny.
So yeah, I've listened to all and every episode, including some episodes multiple times. Some of those episodes I listened to multiple times while actually driving to your house across the country. That's how good some of the episodes are. I used my helpful friend AI, and I've tabulated that you've done about 568 episodes in the average show tally. We're up to about 875 hours. So per my calculation, I have listened to you for approximately 3.5 weeks total of straight listening time.
Oh my gosh.
Now, in my episode total count, I am including all No Simple Road episodes, all side roads, all Patreon and Patreon exclusive episodes,
Dang.
including all side roads with Corey, Mel's mom, and all other family members. And I'm also including all No Simple Road adjacent podcasts where you've been on someone else's podcast, i.e. Best Show Ever with Aaron, Apple, Mel, and multiple other podcasts that you all have been on as a cross promotion.
What?
Oh, I just remembered the Toby and Davey Cross episode podcast, because those guys are some of my favorite wolves.
Me too.
Yeah. At the end of 3.5 hour String Summit episode, where you say, for anyone who's still listening at this point, we thank you. Well, I'm that guy.
Aww.
I saw Saks this weekend, so I took a pick for Apple. I'm happy the
Thank you, John.
Eagles won, but this is only short lived. I'm trying to make it up to the PMW or Cali for some fish. Maybe so, maybe not, as you know. Always hold out hope until the last minute. One last thing before I go. I found some head who lives in Northern Cali in his own town, who basically has like 5 plots for anyone that wants to come live there in the middle of nowhere, but it's pretty sick. I'll send you guys the YouTube video. I think you should check it out.
What?
Johnny B.
Okay, Johnny B, there is no, first of all, there's nobody like you. You know that. You are one unique human being. And the fact that you know so much about us,
It's
that
crazy.
you traveled across the freaking country, like so far. You're in freaking Delaware, dude. You're so far from us. And you traveled across the country to come kick it with us, go to shows. Like, we have done so much. We've seen each other in freaking at the Peach Fest. Like, there's so much. And like, the letters, cross, like you said, the cross podcast, all of that. There's not enough space in time for me to share how grateful that makes me, that you even care that much.
I'm just going to say ditto to that, because I can't say that.
Right?
In
Like
double
the
ditto.
fact that you care that much to hear our voices beyond
wild.
the podcast, and the fact that our voices intrigued you so much to drive your vehicle across the country, and the fact that you're always promoting the show, and like, it's almost,
It's bananas.
it's bananas. It's bayayos. It's bananas.
Nothing
And-
compares.
You know what?
You know, and the thing is that bananas, you're the origin of bananas.
Yeah, and check
Johnny
this
Bananas.
out. For all you Stephen King fans out there, John B is our Annie Wilkes. He's our
Yes.
number one fan.
Yes.
Yeah,
No
so-
matter what, John, you always have a home with us.
That's right.
No matter what. Like, we love you. You're our brother. You're still my favorite dancing partner at a fish show. Like, for real. That can never be
There ain't
removed.
nothing like riding tube with John.
Yeah. So unless little maybe miniature John Aldo grows up and then he like takes your place, I think that's the only way that could happen. But other than that, John, you have a place in my heart forever, man. Thank you for that beautiful letter.
Love you, brother. Thank you for that. All right, we're going to do the business. Ready? Everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
Ready for the business?
I'm ready.
Follow No Simple Road on the social medias.
Do
at
it.
No Simple Road. Go to our website. There's a website there, nosimpleroad.com. You can do website stuff like get merch, sign up for a newsletter, see pictures. It's fun. Do it. Go there. You'll be happy you did. What else?
There is also the Tepid line.
971-808-1524.
And
That's
that is
right.
like the open mic, like we say. You can do whatever you want. Leave us a trip report. We are well into all of the concert seasons, and we want to hear that stuff, man.
Yeah.
So you can do that. You can go over to Apple Podcasts, and you can hit that 5-star thing. And you can go above.
5-star thing?
I just remember it's like, wait, you know
we
what?
have one? Do
I
we?
did not look to
I
see if
didn't
we
either.
had one, but we asked that you go and you leave us a review. And then we can read those on the air. And beyond that, they make us very happy. And nope, we have not had one since December 29th.
Okay, you could
So
be the one.
first of 2025.
Be the word.
Last but not least, tell somebody you love about No Simple Road, man. That's how we spread the mycelial network that is the No Simple Road family across the multiverse.
And Patreon.
And oh yeah, Patreon. You know,
Yeah.
you guys know about patreon.com/No Simple Road. That's how you can financially support us. Go over there. You can sign up for free, see the content, put your foot in the water or your toe or your fingernail or whatever, and then decide that you're going to give us millions of dollars all the time.
Yeah.
That's great.
Do
Go
it.
there. And that's that. That's the business.
Yeah, that is business.
All right. Let's get
All
into this
right.
conversation with Adam. Everybody ready?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
ready.
Well, yeah. Go ahead,
Huh?
Apple. Do the thing.
I was just gonna say a little stuff on Adam.
He is coming to Portland.
If you want to go over, follow him on Instagram. It's at Adam Greuel. Greuel is Greuel, and that will take you to all the other bands that we mentioned that he's in. And let's see, that is and music. The latest music released on January 29th is the 2 singles with Adam Greuel and the Space Burritos. Go
good
check
shit
it out.
too, man.
There's no, go searching his stuff. There is no lack of music. Adam is got to be one of the hardest working musicians in the business.
This is true. All right, here we go. Without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Adam Greuel.
I can't see the river from here, and I can hear its song singing sweetly in my ear. Lord, oh Lord, salvation is near, where the cool, cool waters run clear. I'm down and up, back down again. I walked along broken trails that often no end. Found myself in the woods where I had gotten lost. Went to sleep under the sun, and I woke under the frost. Just a bit of water, that's all I need. Feel like my old self again, my young self indeed.
There we go.
Hey.
What's happening, guys?
Look at
What's
the-
up, man?
We finally made it work.
Yeah. No, man, life's it's a bouncing bonanza.
Tell me about it,
Yeah.
man.
How do you feel? Are you feeling better?
Pretty much recovered. It's super shitty there for a second, though. My gosh.
What happened, man?
I don't know. I probably caught the norovirus.
Oh, shit. Well, I mean, go
Yikes.
big or go home, right?
Oh, shit. Yes. Yeah. And then that rolled into some kind of coffee cough thing that, like, I don't know about you guys, but everybody's sick in Wisconsin. Like, it always kind of gets that way in winter. But, dude, there was also this big festival, Ice Dance Music Festival, and I played Thursday. And then I stuck around because there's a bunch of bands I liked and friends, and Salmon played Saturday. And stayed the whole weekend and just like went full on festival mode.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And hung out with everybody, probably hugged 300 people.
So patient zero.
Yeah, dude, totally. Like, I was the infection.
Oh, Adam.
Well,
Yeah.
Damn, you made me shoot tea in my nose.
Good job.
I'm Aaron, Adam.
What's up, man? Good to meet
What's
you.
up, brother? Good to meet you too, man.
my name's Mel, and then we've got
And then I'm Apple.
Right on. Good to meet you guys.
Sorry, it
too.
was such a fucking hassle getting scheduled, man.
Totally get it. It's always tricky, man. It's on my side too. It's
And
it's the time of the year.
Today I came home from work and we have like how old is he, Mel?
our dog is 12.
Okay. 12-year-old
Ish.
dog, big dog. He's like 120 pounds and he hasn't been feeling good. And today we started the discussion if we're going to put him down or not. And I'm like, are we going to have to cancel with Adam again?
I would have totally understood, dude. You know, like I get it, man. And that I'm so sorry that you're going through that. That's
It's a
like,
thing, man.
It's rough, dude.
I'm a dog person too, and just very, yeah. You know, there was some. I've been watching Yellowstone because when I was sick, you know,
Right.
I don't know. People keep talking about fucking Yellowstone, and I'm like, I guess maybe I'll watch that. And I put it on, and there's a bunch of really interesting scenes in that so far. But one of them is this guy talking about he's got to kill a horse.
Oh my God.
This guy's like a psycho killer of a person. You know, he's like the guy who like kills all the people. Like it's like his job on this ranch, you know. But he has a hell of a time killing, you know, taking this horse's life. And I'm like, man, that is a weird way of framing this, but I also know what he means.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, he's coming to say what's up. Here he comes. Come
Hey,
Come here,
bud.
Come
Come
here,
on.
dude. Come here, big head.
Poke his head in there.
That's Darwin, man.
Darwin.
Say what's up.
And this is one of his favorite things for real, coming downstairs in our house. We have to take him outside and around because he can't do the stairs. He loves coming down here.
He wants to. Well, I say you want to go to work, and he's like out the door.
He just looked at you like, we're already here. Oh, good boy.
So anyway,
Some devil, Darwin.
thanks, man. So anyway, it's been a month for
Yeah,
all
it's
of
been
us.
a little emotional around here.
Hang in there, guys. I
Yeah.
get it.
It's all
Appreciate it.
good, man.
But,
So
yeah, this isn't about Darwin. This is about Adam. All right, this hour is about Adam and your fantastic.
Well, we got we got dogs and sickness and things out of the way, and
Just for everybody who's listening, Adam, can you give your little bio? Like, who's Adam? What's Adam about? Like,
Well, yeah, you know, I like doing music.
a little bit.
Yeah, I do like that. You know, Horseshoes and Hand Grenades has been a thing I've been up to for, you know, over 15 years now. Actually,
Wow.
it's flying by. But I started doing the music thing when I was like 13, 14 years old, started playing out, and I'm 34 now, so 20 years, and it's kind of zipped by, you know, and all kinds of different projects. And now there's, you know, the stuff with the High Hawks, which I love doing. And there's another project called Rucksack Revolution, which is like a duo project I do with Sarah Voss from Dead Horses. And I do this stuff with this comedian named Charlie Berens. He's like a Midwest guy. And then I've got my own project called Adam Greuel and the Space Burritos. So I've got all this different shit going on. And
you were definitely no slouch, sir.
well, dude, you know, it's like at one point, Horseshoes, like it became apparent that we were going to have to slow down a little bit because there was like some youngsters. We kind of got to the age where the kid conversation started, and a couple of the members decided to have kids, so that pulled our touring schedule back. And it was like kind of almost a identity crisis of some sort, because we had started that when I was so young, and to not be doing that anymore, you know, it was really a thing where I was like, oh my gosh, who am I? And
How old were you, Adam? When
was that
started?
pre or post COVID?
that was like right before COVID.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
That would have been in 2000, and I don't know. It's all such a blur.
Yeah,
but
right.
when
Isn't it though?
we just like
2004.
Telluride, you know, whatever.
It was
whatever that
before
was,
2020.
2000. Yeah. I think it was 2019.
Okay.
And so then I started just like, you know, having to go through this, and I'm like, I want to be a professional musician all the time, and like maybe just some other doors will open, and sure enough, other doors opened, and all kinds of interesting stuff has kind of come out of it. You know, that I didn't even mention, I know you guys are buddies with Kyle Tuttle. We've got Tuttle, Tool, and Greuel too.
Yeah.
Which is another project that we did that we're actually reviving this summer. We're going to do some dates.
You know, I don't know what space juice Kyle has in his blood, but dude, we've done over 400 interviews on No Simple Road. Out of everybody we've had on No Simple Road.
With some pretty awesome people.
Yeah. Out of everybody, Kyle Tuttle's episode stands as the most downloaded episode of No Simple Road in history. Like,
he's the coolest dude ever.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's damn good reason.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you know, we've had like Dave Schools and Billy Strings and O'Teal, and like, nope, Kyle Tuttle, man, he fucking killed everybody.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Him and I, we just got to do some fishing. We were down there. I was in Nashville, and we went out and messed around in the old Duck River down there, an hour south of Nashville, and then we went and hit up in this. I found this speakeasy in Franklin, Tennessee. It's got those wicked cocktails, like just ridiculously good cocktails. So now, of course, every time I get within a, where I can throw a horseshoe to hit it, I gotta stop in there. So me and Tut went there and blasted one on. It was pretty good to see him reconnect.
Go ahead, Apple.
Well, I was just gonna say, I saw that. I'm glad you brought it. You do a lot of fishing, man. I'm surprised you find the time, but you just make time for fishing to get out and do it. And I saw. I mean, what was it back in December? You did like the lottery thing, the win fishing with a musician. I was like, that is dope. That would be so fun.
Tell us a little bit about that, man.
Well, to me, like one of the challenges of the music industry is that it can be pretty hard on the old canoodle sometimes, like it's a tough, it can have some really, really awesome highs and some really, really low lows. Yeah. And that's, a lot of people have struggled with that, through time. And certainly I have. And one thing that kind of balances all the hectic nature of the road and those kind of struggles for me is just getting out in nature and standing in a river, and fly fishing is just like a great, great conduit for that. And like, you brought up the candid fishing with the musician thing, like that's raising money to like, get instruments and outdoor activities into the hands of like underserved youth.
Oh, really? Awesome.
Wow. Yeah, which is just like so important because, I know, and I'm sure you guys know, like nature and music have done so much for so many people to, get you going on a solid path, and young people need that kind of thing sometimes to kind of get you through, and, so anyhow, fly fishing, great mental health activity.
So they like enter a lottery and then somebody wins to get a trip to go fishing with you?
It's like an auction. Okay. Basically. It's like, I think they run it for a couple months, and a bunch of people do it, like Pauly Hoffman and who the heck else? Woody Platt from Steep Canyon Rangers. And I think Tut did it, and Lindsay Lou, and Sean Swain, from the Dwellers, who I love fishing with him. He's back on the road again, which is awesome.
Yeah. Shout out, Sean.
Yeah, man. I mean, connecting with nature, I think that's the thing that, like, especially when you're grinding and you're touring and you're going place to place and you're never feeling settled, like those moments to be able to be out in nature, that's the thing that like brings you back to yourself. Yeah. Everybody up in the Pacific Northwest is very excited about the upcoming fish run.
I'll say.
And you don't want to go with, except for Apple, you don't want to go with the same old clothes that you always had. You got to go to thegratefulmountain.com. Check out the Blazon Easter Bunny design, the Oregon
awesome.
Fish and Wildlife design.
And if you're not going to the fish shows, you can still get either one of those shirts or any other custom dyed merch. I'm talking about overalls. I'm talking about t-shirts. I'm talking about hoodies, socks,
Gloves.
undies, gloves,
A hat.
handkerchiefs. You name it, Travis can hook it up.
He's also got the dope new design, the Dogs Days with Woodstock and Snoopy, my favorites.
Hell yeah.
right on.
For the upcoming show up at Moore Theater in Seattle on
For
March
Sam
25th.
Grisman?
Yeah.
What you got to do is go follow at The Grateful Mountain on Instagram.
Or thegratefulmountain.com.
Yep. And when you're checking out, put in the promo code NSR20 for 20% off and free shipping anywhere in the U.S. Go to thegratefulmountain.com. Check it out. You'll see what we're talking about.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, there's like the metaphor that I always think of is, you're just standing in a river and kind of letting it all wash away. There's like a kind of like a recalibration, purification type situation that goes on, like sometimes, like I think we've all felt it, like we describe it as the vibe, sometimes you go to a show and the vibe's like so good and everybody kind of leaves feeling like they've been like filled up. Right. And then there's other nights where you like leave a show, certainly from a musician standpoint, but I think also from an audience standpoint, and you leave and you're kind of like, wow, something was just kind of off.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I had one recently. Yep.
Yeah, it's bizarre how that happens. It's hard to say what the hell exactly is going on. Like, could be a multitude of things. But that kind of energy, like it I've got to make sure that kind of gets cleaned up and leaves, because it's just like, it'll really, you hold on to that type of thing sometimes, like sometimes I'll accidentally kind of like take it personally, like, what did I do to make it like that? And
Yeah, man.
But I guess, like as an human being, I won't even just say as an artist, you have to ask yourself those questions. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you did and you really didn't do shit wrong. It was just like you said earlier, the vibe wasn't right. Maybe like a little thing was off and it threw everyone off. So I don't think it's bad. I think it's bad when we dwell in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we can't like, oh, I fucked up. I'm not good. Why I don't deserve this. You know what I mean? Like when we make it negative. But I think that kind of like constructive personal criticism can be helpful. That way you're like, okay, can't take that drink anymore right before I go on stage. But right after, hell yeah. You know what I mean? Like whatever the thing is,
Yeah. Or, and other nights it's like, was it just the stars?
Yeah.
Like, is it just the way it is? Like, it's just a weird night.
And sometimes it's unexplainable. We've done, like you said recently, we won't name bands, but we've done like you see a bad show and it's like, oh my gosh, I hope they're not losing it or something's wrong.
That's it.
And then we've gone and seen them again and been like, okay, they're good. They're good.
The next night.
Yeah, the next night.
But here's the weird thing about that too, Adam, is like, you can go into a night like that, leave feeling like, what the fuck happened? But the crowd is like, that was the best show I've ever seen in my life. And so it's completely subjective. And it is us, man. That's the conclusion that I came to the other night, was like, that was 100% me. Because Mel, we were at the same show. She was like, that was my favorite show I've been to in 2024.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole night, I'm just like struggling to find the groove, man. Like, it's just not happening. And there's no like, there's no secret sauce for that. You just have to show up and be open to the thing getting ready to happen and roll the fucking dice.
Totally. It's all a matter of perspective.
Totally.
Yeah.
What did you start playing at 13? Like, what was your entry to, wanting to do this? And
Shop Tour Bus is your one-stop shop for all your Grateful Dead inspired merch, like hats, t-shirts, tote bags, what else?
Hoodies.
stickers.
This is true. Go to shoptourbus.com or at shoptourbus on Instagram. Check out all the Grateful Dead song-inspired designs. You're going to have to figure out what they are.
That's right.
It's like a cryptic message that if you know.
And you know what? You don't have to be a Grateful Dead fan to enjoy these shirts because the designs on themselves are awesome.
This is true. And they come in a hand-designed, one-of-a-kind box, bunch of extras, and you may get a miracle bootleg in your order.
The magic lives on.
This is true. Put in the promo code No Simple Road, all one word. When you're checking out, you get free shipping from the family over at shoptourbus.com.
Well, I was into songwriting for sure, right? When like really, really early, that was like just a thing for me. But I had seen Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, and this guy Ibby, who isn't in the band, he wasn't on the farewell tour. He had left years ago. Ibby, if you remember him, was a very gregarious character. He was extremely fun to watch on stage. And I went to see them, as a young boy, I think I maybe was double digits. I might have been 10, and he was so riveting to see. And he was having so much fun. I could sense this contagious vibe, between him and the crowd. And they had 2 shows that afternoon. And, one was like 4:00, like matinee or something. And then the other one was like 7:30. And they did the first show. In between shows, they were signing autographs. And I was in this line, and it was long. And it got to this point where they couldn't do it anymore. They had to get ready for the next show. And they said, "Hey, I'm sorry, we got to go. Thank you guys for being here." And me being however old I was, pretty young, 8, 9 or whatever, just started bawling my eyes out. And Ibby saw this, or heard this, presumably. It must have been quite the ruckus. And he jumped like a snow fence. And he came over to my mom and was like, "Hey, can I take him backstage?"
Oh.
And so she's like, "Sure," which she should have never done. But she allowed me to go back, and he introduced me to the whole band and got everybody to sign this thing. And then he took me back out to my mom. What? And then, of course, we stayed for the nighttime show. And that was just such an important memory, for me. And it really it feels like it was the thing that kind of put me on this path. And then lo and behold, years later, like Ibby ended up being like part of the Aspen scene, the Woody Creek scene. Like he was like best friends with Hunter S. Thompson and shit like that. Oh, and I didn't know this until I got older and started knowing about the whole Woody Creek thing and Hunter S. and all that kind of shit. So like when Hunter S. died, I mean, I think at the time of his death, Ibby was like his best friend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
yeah, you definitely shouldn't have been backstage there.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Shit just runs these crazy circles. And so anyhow, that put me into an interest in music. And from there, I started meeting like local bands and things and started learning bluegrass. And I had an older brother who was into bluegrass. That was the early days of Yonder was happening at that time.
Oh, shit.
My brother was following them. He was part of the, the kinfolk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
No, well.
What a cool dude to do that, to take you backstage. And like, he didn't have to do that. He could be like, "All right, peace."
Totally.
But when you see a little kid cry, it's like somebody dropped their ice cream cone, man.
There's always somebody crying.
Yeah.
There's always somebody crying. No, that's true.
I think to be a musician and see, I mean, you're used to all these fans, but to see a kid as your fan that's that upset, it's like, you got to do something.
Sweet.
You got to do right.
So I was
a big heart.
Yeah. Same age. I was about the same age, maybe 9 or 10. Ted Nugent was like everything. I fucking loved Ted Nugent. And he came to Vegas and I got tickets and I went with my big sister and we walked in and Ted Nugent took the stage and started playing Wango Tango. And my sister got in a fight with the girl in front of us and we got thrown out of the show. And I cried the entire way home. Check this out. And in the morning, my stepdad was Siegfried and Roy's manager back in the day.
Whoa.
And my stepdad had found out what happened. And when I woke up in the morning, the floor of my bedroom was covered with Ted Nugent merch. All autographed shit all over the floor. So see, all you have to do is cry at a show.
If you're little.
Yeah, it's not going to work. It's not going to work
I think
now.
I've cried a time or two at a show and nothing
So
happened.
what you're saying, if I go to see Horseshoes and Hand Grenades and start crying, you're not going to let me backstage?
Dude, I probably would.
Yeah, come here, little guy. Come here.
I got the genes I got from my parents are I got the cry gene from my mom and the I really like to mow gene from my dad.
That's solid parents right there.
That's pretty good.
So wait, you said your mom took you to the concert?
Both my parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they were into it too?
Yeah, I guess, I think, at the time the Dirt Band had just basically released Fishing in the Dark.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it was like a fad band kind of a thing going on,
So did you ever see yourself doing anything else?
When I went into college, I hoped to be a educator, a teacher.
Really?
Yep.
What'd you want to teach?
I wasn't totally sure. High school, yeah. No, actually, it was history, social science. Yeah, that was kind of my thing. And actually, what happened was there was a teacher I didn't jive with.
Mm-hmm.
It was like one of my first teachers in the education department. I was just like, didn't like what was going on. I was kind of, I had an alternative type mindset about what education meant,
Right.
And dude was not into it. So we were butting heads right away. And then at that same time period, we had, I don't know how into the political world you guys are, but at the same time, Wisconsin had elected Scott Walker governor.
Okay.
Scott Walker was a real shitty dude, man. He defunded the hell out of education in the state of Wisconsin. Teacher salaries dropped really, really low. I mean, it's not like it's nothing like anything that's happening right now at all. But yeah, so that happened. And it kind of turned us all off. Everybody who was going to be a teacher, we just didn't see a light at the end of the tunnel. And at the same time, this is a whole nother part of the story, but I was actually at college playing football.
What?
Playing college football, yeah. And early on that season, this is freshman year, this guy who was the team captain said something at practice. It was before the first game. He was pumping people up and he's like, man, we're all this school's got. The rest of the school's just a bunch of hippies and rednecks.
Oh.
And I was like, whoa, that was weird. Think of that, man. And it hit me so hard. I walked into the coach's office and quit that day.
Oh, shit.
Right
and
on.
the next day I met Sam from Horseshoes, who introduced me to the other guys in Horseshoes. So this was all kind of happening at the same moment in time. And we started playing right when we met, So it was kind of a funky.
Wow. Yeah, that's like the universe telling you something.
Isn't
there.
It crazy? You can tell the story now and it all makes sense. But when you're in it, you don't know what's going to happen out of that.
No,
you feel
like you're the ball in the pinball machine.
Yes. That's wow. That's pretty incredible.
So
weird time, man. Weird time.
When you guys all started playing together, was it just hey, let's get together and jam and do the thing? Or was it hey, let's see if we can make this a thing?
Well, it was all very organic because really, I mean, it was we were all in the early days of college, none of us really knew what the hell we were doing from a musical standpoint, although there was this bizarre energy right away with the five of us where it just clicked. It had kind of the same sound it does now. It's just a little different. It's not quite sure what it is, and that, which is awesome and fun, and we started doing, little house shows, basement parties, and we'd play around bonfires and we'd play outside of the dorms. And then there was this kind of open mic, a bluegrass open mic. That was about 30 minutes outside of Stevens Point. We went to the University of Wisconsin, Stevens Point. And there was a long-standing Wednesday night bluegrass open mic. And we started driving out there and playing it every Wednesday. We were having a lot of fun with it. It was just a really bad, fun habit.
Yeah. Those are the best.
And we started doing it all the time. And then all of our friends started going out there. But it was 30 minutes, outside of town. And it's a bar. And, we're in college. Like, things are getting rowdy out there. And at some point, somebody pointed out aptly that this wasn't the safest thing in the entire world to be up to. And we decided that we would try to find a party bus. And sure enough, we found a guy who would run a party bus from downtown Stevens Point on campus out there and back every Wednesday night.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Ain't shit
So
getting
we
done
all would
Thursday.
load in our instruments, all of our friends, and we would drive from downtown Stevens Point out there to Northland Ballroom, it was called, every Wednesday. And we'd have these giant parties out there. And then we'd all get in the bus, all lit up, 6 ways to Sunday, and go back to downtown Stevens Point in the bus. And then we'd all be in class at 8 a.m. And in fact, sometimes some of the professors were on it with us.
Oh, shit.
Heck yeah.
Wild time, man. And that's what started the band. So from there, the same old story, so on and so forth.
Yeah, the momentum happens and it keeps going. Yeah.
I love that. That's a great solution. That when they're like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't be going. It's like, no, we'll find somebody to take
else
us
to drive us
or make a bigger party.
vehicle.
So you've been in the game long enough now, like you said, like your older brother was into the early days of Yonder, and so you've seen the bluegrass scene evolve into what it is now.
Oh yeah.
And what's your take on where we are right now? Because for me, kind of feels like it's the first time that bluegrass is really kind of in the sun, getting its day in the sun.
Well, yeah, no doubt about that.
I mean, look at the Grammys that just happened.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think it grew and it grew and it grew. I mean, you gotta obviously on a historical timeline with my interest in history, like I was talking about earlier, you've got to give credit where credit's due, right? Like with the Newgrass revival, and how that all took off. And then, Yonder really started this first kind of wave where it became like popular music, right? Like that, there was that one album, I forget who was that Rick Rubin or T-Bone Burnett, or who did that one album that starts with Sidewalk Stars? I can't remember who.
I don't remember.
I'll look it up.
I was looking it up.
I can't remember who did that, but anyhow, that one had kind of a poppy leaning thing. They were kind of trying to cross over into pop or something. It was the one that starts with Sidewalk Stars. It has like Midwest gospel radio and stuff like that on it.
I'm looking it up.
Anyhow, like that album, I feel like was one of the first ones where it kind of
shot into some kind of
started,
notice. Yeah.
And obviously Salmon was part of that too, Leftover, but now it's just like, I guess the other thing that's worth mentioning, I feel like from a historical timeline is, Oh Brother, We're Out Thou.
Yeah, that really.
Like how could you not mention the importance of that in getting bluegrass music into the mainstream? That in juxtaposition with like Wagon Wheel hitting off the way it did. And like, Wagon Wheel went from being an Old Crow song to Darius Ruckers covering it, and it kind of like that was like part of that puzzle too. And then the kind of bluegrass British invasion with Mumford and Sons, bringing banjos and stuff like that. And that, I feel like that continued this kind of upward trajectory. And then, Billy came and blew the whole damn thing open,
Yeah, he did.
For a good reason,
It's amazing to me, like the early Yonder stuff to me showed me that bluegrass could be scary.
Yeah.
It could be a little dangerous and a little scary and a lot psychedelic. And,
Yes.
And that like gave rise to where, you know, like you said, through history now where we are now. And like you said, now Billy's blown the lid off the thing. But it never occurred to me prior to that like bluegrass was a psychedelic art form. And,
Avenue.
Yeah. And now like I go back and I listen to like, I don't know, Old and in the Way or whatever. And you can hear all that same stuff now.
Now, because you know.
Because I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, I do know what you're saying. I mean, I think those cats knew.
Oh,
Rowan, you know, knew, and like Vassar, you know, you listen to that same era that Vassar's playing in Old and in the Way. He was also dropping those like really freaky fiddle jazz record, like whatever that one record is with the fiddle head on it, you know, the Vassar fiddle head. That one's like really cool psychedelic jazz. So like, you know, and obviously Newgrass Revival was doing that, man. You listen to that album Too Late to Turn Back Now.
Okay.
That album's so damn cool. I think that was recorded in Telluride.
Oh, really?
And in fact, weird story about that record. We were at this festival, Little Creek Music Festival, Manoa, Wisconsin. And we were on our way out to do the Telluride band competition. And the word had spread that we were doing that, you know? And so people were coming up and like wishing us well and stuff like that. And this kind of mysterious old man that we called Uncle Banks. Uncle Banks came over and he gave us a box of T-shirts that mostly were from Mole Lake Bluegrass Fest, which was a big bluegrass festival that used to happen in northern Wisconsin. Like everybody played it, Bill Monroe, all this stuff. And he wanted us to have these shirts that he had.
Okay.
And they were really cool. We were just tripping on them. And there was one record in there, and it was Too Late to Turn Back Now.
Oh, wow.
Newgrass Revival record. And then there was one other random shirt, and it just said Evergreen, Colorado. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So we drive out, we're going to Telluride. We're going through the hills there above, you know, the Front Range. And we had a soccer mom van. It was called Aunt Darlene. and Aunt Darlene couldn't make it over one more hill, and we broke down. We're all sad. We're distraught, you know, like, oh God, what are we going to do now? We don't have any money. This is a pain in the ass. And we get out, and the sign that we see right in front of us, Evergreen, Colorado.
No fucking way.
Holy
right. And right there in the box in between seats and Aunt Darlene was the album Too Late to Turn Back Now.
Oh my gosh. Okay, prophetic gift.
Dude, like what? You know, like, and then we got back and Uncle Banks was dead.
I was just going to say that's some Colonel Bruce shit right there.
Holy shit.
Dude.
What happened to Uncle Banks?
I don't know. I think
his heart stopped.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Uncle Banks was gone. I remember we came back to Manoa, like, you know, a couple months later. I was like, where's Uncle Banks? I got to tell him the story. And they're like, oh, you didn't hear? Uncle Banks was dead.
He sent you on the road and let you know it was too late to turn back now.
Dude, so anyhow, that album, you know, was that kind of early. I forget what year that was recorded
77.
in.
It was
77.
Yeah, it was let me see. 4th annual Telluride Bluegrass and Country Festival, Telluride, Colorado, June 25th and 26th, 1977.
Awesome. Dude, that album, they're like, it's just got so much tension and suspense in it. It's like I listen to it all the time still, but you know, I think that element, the psychedelic element of bluegrass, you know, it kind of even comes from the old time tradition. The repetitive nature of old time music has this kind of psychedelic feel to it too. And that was happening in the 60s, you know, or 50s, probably even earlier, you know, just kind of that repetitive,
that's what I love about
hypnotic
bluegrass.
kind of
Yes.
vibe.
That's what Mel digs. That
like
chugging
train, you know, it's like it's not stopping. You know, that's why I love the banjo so much. It's like feels like you're running on your tippy toes, and you have to keep going and keep going and keep going. You know, and it just has this. It does something inside. You know, it does, right? Like I just. It amazes me to watch anybody, but especially clawhammer banjo players, because of that rhythmic. And then they're making that competitive, and it just feels like you're gonna blow up. You're like, you know, like you said, the tension. You know, it's my favorite.
Stop a raging river with a clenched fist.
Oh yeah.
And then go ahead, Apple.
Well, I was gonna say, I think another thing about bluegrass that got us when we really got into it, when we went to Northwest String Summit, is the covers that bluegrass bands do.
You can grass just about anything.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. We're like, oh my God, you can. I mean, now we've heard so many covers. It's like you can cover any song in the world, bluegrass style, and it's usually better or funner or it's like, holy crap.
Oh, you can bluegrassize that one for sure. You can bluegrassize it.
I like that.
Will it
The other
grass?
night we were sitting around the fire and eating some mushrooms. We were all weird, you know, and somebody brought up Grease. You know,
Oh my God.
and I started playing bluegrass style. I got thrills to multiply, and I'm losing control.
Yeah.
It's fun as hell, man.
Oh my gosh. I
Just
love
bluegrassize it.
Yes.
We got to get Adam over here to eat some mushrooms.
I know, Adam. Come on. When you heading over to Portland?
Soon.
Really?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I'm coming with Charlie Berens.
Oh my God, that'd be great. I was listening to that album today, and it is so funny. That's the one I was telling you about.
Oh yeah,
naming your town.
Yeah.
And so I was just cracking up at that. I love that, like comedic style and great music at the same time.
Let me know, man. I'll
Yeah.
get you guys.
Adam, when are you going to be here? Do you know, like what month or?
I only look about a week out on the
Okay,
schedule.
hey, don't worry about it.
It's
Don't worry about it. We
probably,
can look it up.
It's got to be pretty soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got my number, man. If you need a place to crash, let us know.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we've got.
I will, yeah. But either way, let's hang out.
For
Oh
sure.
my gosh, for sure.
We're gonna do Kirsten's house concert too.
Oh,
actually.
the Kirsten Ruffer, Bernie's
Yeah.
Mountain
Bernie's
Series.
Mountain Series. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
We're actually him and I are gonna do that too. It was supposed to be a surprise, but here I am.
Surprise. How did that duo come up? Like, how did that happen?
Well, so Charlie, when he was in high school, was like in a jam band cover band kind of a vibe. Like he was like covering Dead songs and stuff.
Okay.
And fast forward years later, him and his cousin would listen to our early albums, I guess. And lo and behold, one New Year's Eve, I got it in my mind. I would hit him up to see if he wanted to like MC our show in Milwaukee at the Pabst Theater. And I hit him up and he's like, no, I can't. I'm already tied up at a gig. He's like, but I actually love your music and I would love to connect. We're like, really? That's weird, you know?
Of course you do.
And sure enough, he came and he kicked it at our studio. It was actually when we were recording our album, I think the self-titled one that starts with the Ode. He came over to the studio, we all hung out, and him and I hit it off, and we became, you know, really close friends and fishing buddies. And at one point, I think it started as a joke that he would teach me how to do comedy and I would teach him how to do music. And then this idea came that we should make some comedy music albums. And we made one called The Unthawed, and then we came up with another one called Dive Bar Dinner, like last Thanksgiving.
That's fun, man.
Yeah, it's been a trip.
dope.
And I open up like a bunch of his shows now with like a mix of stand-up and music.
So he did teach you how to do comedy.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah. I mean, like sort of. I mean, that shit's hard, man.
Yeah,
Talk about
yeah.
feeling like you're butt naked on stage, man. It's like,
Yeah, there's no guitar. There's no. You're just there. You have the.
there
mic.
is a guitar. I
Okay.
kind of mix some music elements into it. But yeah, I mean, he's a great teacher, and he's like one of the funniest dudes on planet Earth.
That's
too.
dope,
I love
man.
working with him.
I would imagine you just have to not care. You just have to, like, no matter what, I'm going to go in, if it's cold, if it's hot, if it's what, you know what I mean? Under any conditions, and just like resolve yourself to finish that however long it is, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever.
Well, the thing that I found that's different is in music, you never really have to talk.
Yeah.
You can kind of just like, you can let the music get weird. That's, I think, part of the reason everybody loves the Dead so much is like the Dead kind of just played to how they felt. Like the songs would take these turns based on like the energy of the band that night. And I've always loved that about jam music, the ability to just kind of play to how you feel. With comedy, yeah, not so much. Yeah.
You can't get up there in a bad mood and try and make everybody laugh.
No, you're definitely just in it up there.
Dang.
And I've had a couple where I came off the road and, like the road with Horseshoes or the High Hawks, and had to vault straight into doing comedy and was just not in the right way.
Hit the wall.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, that would be rough. Oh,
Yeah, man. But it's cool. It's a cool endeavor for sure.
I mean, this seems like you're not scared to perform at all. You're doing all kinds of stuff. Have you always been comfortable being in front of people?
Well, I
To
wouldn't
that
call
capacity.
it comfortable.
Okay.
Generally terrified,
Really?
generally frightened.
But you do it anyway.
Yeah, because why the hell not? Like, in the very least, it's going to be interesting. And you brought up Colonel Bruce, like, big fan of Colonel Bruce.
Yeah, me too, man.
In fact, I've got his book actually, it's underneath the laptop right now. That's weird. But yeah. Hello,
Is
Colonel.
it?
He's still doing it.
Is it?
I've been thinking that this laptop's floating.
yeah, that sounds all right.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah, he that was a very special human being right there, man. That guy was from another fucking planet. Tapped into something.
I never got to meet him, but Vince was so close with him. And so I've heard about a million stories from Vince, sitting around smoking doobies and listening to Vince tell these really cool stories about him. And I just love his commitment to, letting people be who they are, from a musical standpoint. That's where the Space Burrito thing came from. Space is the place.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that Flying Burrito Brothers.
Okay, got it. It's
Because the jam thing, just the exploratory nature,
so is that the thing that you're working hardest on now?
Just kind of a little bit of everything, I think. Hard to say I'm focused on anything in particular other than trying to have a good time.
It sounds like you're killing it. So what's going on with Horseshoes?
Well, we had a really fun show this last Saturday night. We're working on a new album, actually.
Heck yeah.
Right on.
Which I'm really excited about. That's been really fun. And we're doing not a crazy amount of shows in a year, but now when we get together, there's just so much excitement that hitting the stage is like really, really fun. There's none of that like on tour kind of comfortability where you kind of get used to hitting the stage, which is a good thing in its own right. But with Horseshoes right now, it's always just really, plumb full of excitement and vigor when we get on. And that's really fun. And we did of course we dropped the This Old Town
Right.
Thing with the Heady Wax Pals and Beans. And that was really a cool thing.
Yeah. Chris has sent us a couple of folks, you being one of them, and he doesn't miss. Like, he's like, you guys need to talk to this person. I'm like, let's do it. That guy is one of the sweetest human beings on the planet right there.
He like works so hard, so selflessly.
Yep.
It's like wild, I have a lot of admiration for him, and really that whole community that those guys have built is like, it's really, really cool. And they're really supportive. Like in this day and age, it's such a freaking endeavor recording music and figuring out a way to release it independently.
Yeah.
Like, sure, you can try to do the label thing, but you're like, you're still ended up losing a bunch of money usually with the label situation, like it's not an economic endeavor to be making music. You do it because you love it, making recorded music,
Right.
And it's a chore to get the news out there that you've dropped an album. And one thing I found about the Heady Wax Fiend crew is that they're like really there and there for you to be supportive of independent artists that are doing like short runs, like making 300 units and stuff like that. Like they're down to support these smaller artists, and like it's just so appreciated on so many levels. And
well, and also like living in a time where like a lot of the product of music is there's nothing there. Like people don't fucking buy
It's
CDs.
physical.
You know what I mean? They're just, I don't know. We don't even have a CD player in the house.
But at the same time, it's hard to roll a doobie on an MP3.
That's true. You can do it on your phone, though.
I didn't think about that.
That's true. But yeah, man. And so anybody that's taking the time to like create something real now, it's fucking dope. And like you said, that particular group of folks is super supportive and open and ready to just like jump in for the artists all the way. And that's, man, it needs to be that way, because you guys that are making music, like you said, you're not doing it to get rich. You're doing it because you love it, and you don't know what else you would be doing if you weren't doing it, most likely. And so to have people that will help you do that, I mean, there's no other way to make it happen, really, especially now.
Totally. And I mean, that's one thing that I also, I think really highly of the general like jam grass type scene and type crowd and jam band in general, because they are like, they know that our scene isn't very big. Right. You know what I mean? Yep. And they know like they're kind of like diehard, and really, really committed. And it just means a lot. You know what I mean? It means a lot to the artists. Like here in the Midwest, I see so many of the same people showing up for all the different projects, that
must feel so cool.
It's so cool, and they're so cool. Like, and it's there, just like the community that comes out of it. I mean, shit, there's like the real issue. I think one of the real issues that's going on like with our world right now is like on paper, we're the most connected that we've ever been, like we've got all this technology, all this crazy shit. We're theoretically really connected, yet we're the most lonely we've ever been.
Yeah, man.
So somehow, I don't know how the hell that makes sense, but it's statistically true. People are freaking lonely. Like we yearn for fellowship. We yearn for community. And, you see it at these shows, like people aren't messing around on their phones. People are there, present, connecting with one another, and people look fucking happy.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in the day-to-day life, when you're walking around, how often do people look happy?
Dude, we went
not a lot, man. I work with the public, I'll tell you that. I see people's faces all day long.
Fucking pissed all the time.
And you're exactly right. It's either like no emotion or like mean mugging,
Pissed at the
and
weather.
then
They're smiling through the
pain.
Yeah, they're like,
yeah,
grinning and bearing
it's
it.
like we're digitally connected, but like Aaron was saying a second ago, there's not literal substance to that.
Yep.
you know, there's nothing to hold, nothing to roll your doobie on with that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's not quality. It's like fast food.
Yeah, it's like making out with the air. It doesn't feel good because there's nothing there. You know, like I'm doing it, but it doesn't have any. It's not lasting, man. And so like we're all starving for it. And so when we have people like you that are willing to get up with like 6 or 7, 8 projects, then yeah, I'll follow you around because you're doing the thing and bringing it. You're bringing that like energy that we need. Like we're trying to get crunk. We're trying to dance. We're trying to get our week done with, you know, and like musicians such as yourself, they do that for the workers of the world, and it makes our freaking life better. It literally makes our life better. Yeah. When you can go at home go back to work on a Monday and like, damn, that concert was dope, you know, and it stays with you. The music stays with you. So I think that's
well put. I mean, I think like the biggest utility of performing musicians is to be a conduit to fellowship.
Yeah, man.
Ooh, I've never heard that.
To get people to connect, like to try to kick the loneliness and like make people realize, you know, and the humanity of it all. Like, you know, bluegrass, jam music, you know, one thing that we all know about it is it ain't going to be perfect.
Nope.
Yes.
And if it's too perfect, you ought to be real suspicious about what the hell's going on.
There's a track playing somewhere.
Something's going on here. And that's good because it shows us the humanity. We're not perfect. We shouldn't expect ourselves to be perfect. We got to fall on our faces, right?
Yep.
Well, that's the whole process of growth is this kind of tension. Like we messed up. We figure it out. You know, that's why, like, you know, when bands debut songs, it's kind of fun because, you know, something might be all jacked up.
Yep.
And the whole crowd's kind of sitting there like a little clenched up, like worried, like what's going to happen, you know? And that's fun.
Dude, what the times that I saw the Dead train wreck and start a song over, those are the nights that I fucking remember. You know what I mean? Like, you're
totally.
like, yes.
That's the time, that show where Garcia picks off Broke Down Palace in the wrong key.
The wrong key. Yes.
And he starts chuckling. He goes, wait, something's fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing about failure. Failure a lot of times becomes very comedic in the long run.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or shortly after sometimes does a fail or, you know, and it's very comedic.
But you know, talking about the communal thing, man, this past weekend we went and saw Daniel Donato's Cosmic Country. And talk about
I'm my God.
Tell you something, man.
It was like the best filet you've ever had.
Oh,
it was like pure nutrition for your soul.
This guy, it's cool to see somebody that's talented, and then it's another thing to see somebody that's talented take their what they can do and create a world with it. Like, he's made his own thing. It's his trip, and it's not derivative of anything else. It's his Cosmic Country, and it's fucking dope. But the reason I brought it up, maybe 3 times during the show, I saw somebody pull out their phone. That was it. That crowd was fucking,
because it was popping off when they
present and right there with them the whole time. It was rowdy as fuck. And when we were leaving, a smile on every face coming out that door, sweaty and smiling, every single person. And that's what it's all about, man.
And that wasn't a one-off, because they got to see the show here in Portland, and I was at work. I had to be in Eugene and missed the show here. They encouraged me, like, stay in Eugene with some friends and go see the show. And it was when I got back and we were like, you know, talking about the shows, it was the same thing. Throw down, hooting and hollering. Everybody was sweaty and spent by the end and just smiling, walking out, their arms around each other into the night. It was like the best thing ever.
That's and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, the cup floweth over now. Walking out like
down, Daniel Donata.
Yeah,
yes.
Man, if you haven't caught it yet, man, go see it.
I have. I love him.
Yeah,
Right.
I like him as a person too. He's funny.
Oh,
it's a
he's
fucking
great.
heady cat.
He is.
That is that guy's on another something.
Well, it's so cool because he's taken the jam band approach, but he's got the like downtown Nashville Broadway chops.
Yes.
Because you go down to Broadway, and a bunch of these cats are just ripping it like hell, and it's like really cool to see. A lot of them are like, that guy's really talented, but you kind of wonder in your head, what would happen if they jammed?
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to hear this sound jammed. Well, that's Daniel Donata.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. And that's what I meant about creating his own world. He took something that was like his thing and created his own trip with it. And that's the exciting shit, man. And that's the beautiful thing about the time that we're in right now is like bands like The Dead, even Fish and others, they didn't have, years and years and years of other bands to be influenced by. Now we're in this point in time where like people like, my big brother was into Yonder, and I saw Fish in the 90s, and I was on Dead, so there's all this wealth of awesome music that has influenced these younger cats that are coming up now. So we're seeing some dope shit happen.
It's a cool scene right now, man.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. And gosh, we need music more than ever right now,
What are you listening to, Adam? Like, what concerts are you going to?
Well, concerts I've been going to. I like the drive-by truckers a lot.
What? Okay.
Yeah, mostly just I've felt pretty pissed off since like early January. And the drive-by truckers really suit that energy.
Okay.
So I was blasting them this morning. That's, me and Todd actually have that in common. We both love the drive-by truckers.
Okay.
I also like, like I'm thinking of my vinyl record player,
Right.
Who's been on there recently. Greg Brown. You guys ever heard of Greg Brown?
No.
I haven't.
Incredible songwriter, folk musician from Iowa. Been listening to him. There's a new band and girl series. The band is Humbird.
Okay.
And Humbird is out of Minneapolis. I've been loving that. Trying to think who else.
Humbird. I like the name of that.
Yeah, me
name.
too. It sounds good to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's wonderful. Joseph Huber is another one. He's out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I love him. I listen to a lot of Charlie Parr.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I love Charlie Parr. Listen to a lot of old music.
Are you the kind of cat that like when you're home and you're chilling out, there's music on, or are you
Always.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean a lot of different music, like but all vinyl. Mozart,
Right.
Yes.
Frank Sinatra. Strangers in the night.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Glances. Just like all kinds of weird shit. And then stuff you'd think too. Like sometimes I listen to like I've got like Clint Black and Joe Diffie. People that I'll listen to those vinyls. And then trying to think who like another big Jackson Brown. I love Jackson Brown.
That's good shit right there.
New Riders, The Purple Sage. Towns Van Zandt and Guy Clark.
The Towns Van
Right
Zandt
on,
stuff
man.
is so that, I mean, it just makes you feel like nothing else feels like that. It takes you to a certain like time and place. It transports you.
Kind of got to be careful.
Yeah. Yeah. No shit, man. Yes. Wow.
And then Gordon Lightfoot. I love Gordon Lightfoot.
Okay.
Song for a Winter's Night. Gosh, that early album called Summer's End or something. I don't know. I listen to all the Gordon Lightfoot. One time we got an entire keg of bourbon barrel stout in our house. Oof. and we would play Scrabble every night and drink 2 or 3 bourbon barrel stouts and listen to Gordon Lightfoot the whole night. And then near the end of the Scrabble game, I'd go get a cast iron skillet and I'd dump some cheese curds on there. And I'd go over to the wood stove fire and put those cheese curds on the cast iron skillet into the wood fired stove.
Okay.
Left it in there for like a minute or two. They'd get all greasy and awesome. That was the best way to end the Scrabble game.
Yeah.
A little bourbon barrel stout buzz on, listening to Gordon Lightfoot.
That's some Wisconsin shit right there.
Yeah.
Some real Wisconsin shit right there. So, okay, Adam, no release date for the Horseshoes new album?
No, they're just working
yet.
on it. Yeah.
Okay.
It was we thought it would maybe be this coming fall, but it's just kind of gotten pushed back. We want to take our time with it and kind of enjoy the process.
I'm not rushing you. I'm not taking time.
Simmer down.
You just enjoy the music. That's it.
Why don't you come over and sit with us while we do it?
I would fucking love to, man.
Hell yeah.
I'll tell you what, please do hit us up when you come here.
Yeah.
Let's hang
I'm
out,
excited to hear about this.
I want to
see
come
you guys.
check you guys out.
For sure.
Here, let me just look and see really
Okay.
quick. I bet I can find it in just a moment. It is March the 7th.
Yes,
All right.
that's soon.
It's going on the calendar.
March 7th, and the room, I wonder what room it is. It would appear to be Revolution Hall.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, Revolution
Yeah.
Hall's great.
All right.
And it is sold out, but there is another show that's been added.
Okay.
All
It
right,
looks
we'll
like.
have to get on that.
But I mean, it doesn't matter for you guys. I'll guest list you.
Okay.
Right
Thanks,
on.
man.
That's exciting.
I'm
I
excited
can't
to see
wait. I can't wait to kick it. Can't wait to see what you guys
And
do.
we love going to Revolution Hall.
Yeah,
That's
Rev
a
Hall's
great
good.
venue.
Well, perhaps we go out after, cause just a
A
little
little bit of trouble. I'm down.
A little ruckus.
We know how to do that.
Yeah. We're well versed in creating ruckuses.
Yeah, that's just true.
reasonable quantity.
Yeah.
Right on, Adam. Thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Yeah, pleasure to chat with you guys.
Yeah.
And
This was
sorry
fun.
for the long-winded cheese ale Scrabble.
I love it. Please.
Bro, that's what we
more
love the
cheese ale.
most.
We're doing a podcast, so whatever long-winded story, it's welcome.
Yeah, man.
Gotta keep it weird for Christ's
Right?
sake.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The laptop's floating. Thanks, Colonel Bruce Hampton.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out Colonel
Colonel
Bruce.
Bruce.
And we'll see you on the 7th, brother.
All right, man.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you so
Much love,
much.
guys.
Take care, man.
All right,
Talk to you
Adam.
soon.
Peace.
Cheers.
Thanks, Chris.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, Chris Howland, for
Dang.
hooking us
That
up
was
with
Chris?
Adam. Chris hooked us up
Yep.
with that. Yeah. I think it was just out of the blue one day. He texted me and was like, have you guys talked to Adam Greuel? And I was like, no, not yet. And he was like, I'm going to make that happen.
That was fun. It's super fun and funny. I love that he's coming here with Charlie to do the thing.
Yeah, that's going to be
That's
fun.
so cool.
That's going to be so fun.
And that's different than everything. It's like comedy, music mixed, because it kind of reminds me of like old, who was it? David Allan Coe and some of those ones in the 70s.
David Allan Coe is like a racist piece of shit.
He ended up like that. But some of his songs, it's like parody songs that are funny with good music, and maybe that's not the best example.
Yeah, that's a terrible example, dude.
But like it just,
Yeah, I don't know nothing about
it's really funny.
Okay.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. Adam's not like David Allan Coe.
No. Like I said, maybe a wrong example there. But,
Neither is Charlie.
Yeah.
But they are going to be at Rev Hall, and there's 2 shows, the 7th and probably the 8th, I'm going to guess.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
Makes sense.
You have to go.
Yeah, we'll have
that
to look
out.
at the calendar and see.
Yeah. And hey, for all of you out there, if you are a person that likes music, Heady Wax Fiends is a Facebook group that you can go join, and also a record club that you can join. I know that they have a waiting list. I don't know if that's still a thing to join the
Yeah, it's
record
been
club.
a little bit. Maybe it's opened up.
But you can join the Facebook group and find out about really dope music and be part of an inclusive, super open, supportive community of people that are just there to love music and talk about records.
Yeah, and what if
record
you love
players
vinyl?
and
It's some of the
vinyl.
coolest
Yeah.
pressings you'll see, the tie-dye things they do, and it just really cool.
Yep.
And Heady Wax Fiends also used to be a sponsor of No Simple Road.
This is true, and they probably will be again someday.
Yeah, so.
And hey, go listen to Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. Go listen to Space Burrito. Go listen to the High Hawks.
Yeah, the High Hawks. There was a lot there.
I mean, you're going to...
Rucksack Revolution is the other one. And then the stuff he does with Charlie Berens. And then the Rucksack Revolution, he does the acoustic duo with Sarah Voss of Dead Horses. So, I mean, he does a lot.
Adam is no slouch.
Yeah.
And we will be back on Monday with another episode of the No Simple Road Weekly Rewind with Mel, Apple, and I just hanging out, talking shit. I don't know if you know what we're going to be saying yet.
Well, we're going to see a couple shows this weekend, so we'll probably be talking about that.
Oh, yeah, we're going to see Eggy.
And
well, this will be out the week after that. So we had gone and seen Eggy and Darkstar last weekend.
You'll hear things about this stuff and other things.
But until then, everyone, take care of each other. Smile at a stranger. Safety third. Hydrate.
Love one another.
And you know what, man? Go listen to some old Frank Sinatra. That shit's dope. It's a lot of fun. Dope. Love y'all.
It's vibey.
Peace.
But it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth. And alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient. Or haven't you learned it? No simple road. 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 My windshield is shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A=A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
It is now 2024, and the choice is up to you. Do you listen to good podcasts, or do you listen to bad ones? Well, we've got a suggestion for you. How about you listen to a good podcast for the first time in your miserable life? I can think of one. Overnight Drive. Going strong. 11 years now. The podcast about nothing. Your favorite podcast's favorite podcast. Do you enjoy nothing? So do we. Why don't you come over and check it out and stop listening to other podcasts? Thank you.